Need to be careful of how much noise they do make. Luckily, Gibraltar should be able to flush out 303 if they do decide to engage. But that Watson ultimate in the back pocket. So I think 303 is going to be pretty happy up here for quite a while and a lot of places to work with as they go back and forth between these different angles of approach. I think they heard those shots too from HRN. So just kind of peeking down below, seeing if they can spot anybody out.
And this is a big opportunity for HRN. They are right back behind Aim Assist in 12th. So this could be their opportunity to net a lot of points past Aim Assist and maybe potentially past Superior, move into the top 10 themselves. They have to be very cautious with it, though. A couple of points really is the only thing that's going to separate out, as it's just 7 to move into the top 10 right now, depending on how Superior does inside of the other lobby. But you can see it's going to be HRN under a little bit of pressure now. Have to be careful off of it. Throwable starting to come back inside of it. And go ahead and go for a full rebuild off of it. More looks like he might be the guy going for the peak. They're just going to go ahead and run through the fences, try to play this one out. But it's going to be Roof Koreans just down to a turtle trying to make it away. And that's going to be another point picked up for HRN.
So much crossfire as well. As soon as he gets out that door, you just see tracers from every which direction. Gets caught in the middle of it, so drop down, shots more coming out, just trying to make this their own base. As they clear out some of these, TSM in the nearby, going to try to third party this. Bunch of damage coming out from Hal. Able to just land so many EVA shots in the bubble, allows him to kind of push it even further. Drops down one, you got Aberlely on the other side on more, so a lot of attack coming in. They've got 3 players left for TSM, just trying to flush out these kills, as there's only 1 player available. But Rogue also nearby, so a lot of action happening in the kill feed. I can't even say it, there's so much action going down. You see simply just dropping down the Watson fence on that portal, and you see it paying off as one comes through immediately. Bopped, it goes right back through.
HRN had hopes and dreams to try to accomplish a little bit more, but now simply the last one alive has to go full on defensive mode, trying to get back away from this one. TSM, a firm aggressor up above them, do find themselves a little bit of a safe cubby to hide out in for the time, but praying nobody else chooses to approach back over towards it. Starting to get a little bit of shots. Have to be very careful. It's going to be high ground. Not a lot of places to go down inside the trench, and HRN goes down as well. So this could be opening up a little bit more of an option for Team Superior back over towards Lobby B, but it's going to be 303 Esports trying to rein in a little bit of death back in this high ground position. Not going to connect with enough, but going to do at least force them away from that spot.
Yeah, unfortunate for Oi Senpai. He's just waiting for that loot to be picked up and wants to land the shot to apply some damage, but unable to connect either on the retreat. So, again, nothing to land there as Ziploc Bag's getting an engagement. Just trying to cover this north rotation. Trying to gatekeep their backside, make sure that there's nobody pushing in from behind them. Yo-Yo has some options to play on the other side of this hill as well, but doesn't want to take too low coverage.
Hard shift back down towards the south.
Yeah, needs to be careful on the backside too. The more action they take here, the more knowledge they're giving everybody else with the noise. But again, need to secure this backside so they don't get caught rotating. New Brainers on the outside.
Trying to figure out how they're going to make their way through this one. Trying to connect with enough shots. Not going to get a lot out of it. Going to have to retreat out of that point. But the longer that this goes on, just like you were saying a second ago, Lawler, it means it's going to be that much more difficult. We have 10 teams, 28 still alive. Going to have to charge their way through. Ziploc Bags got themselves a firm defended position, trying to make sure that they do not allow the Wraith to get out of it, but looks like might be able to make it up the hillside. That could provide a little bit of support for the team. A couple of shots now coming through as well, forcing Ziploc Bags back away from that angle. Instead, going to go ahead and retreat back down, use the back wall for cover, and now have to be very cautious as they're starting to spot out a couple other teams that might want to aggress towards them.
Yeah, always an option to kind of retreat back, but at the same time, they're retreating back into teams that have already solidified their spots in there. And you can see exactly why Stompy, as soon as it goes up top, gets actually dropped down. And now he's got to be in trouble from the other ones. Bunch of projectiles coming through and just under so much pressure. So now, sandwiched between two teams that are getting aggressive. New Brainers able to just find him on the corner. This Wraith going to have to phase shift, but they're going to follow him down and not let him go, but actually being protected from another team. So many people overlapping on top here that it looks like that Wraith was actually able to get away.
If you ever want to know what a death funnel looks like, it's when all the teams from the north have to make their way back down in the safe zone, and there's too many choke points, so there's nowhere to go. Gobble trying to stay alive right now, hunkering down in defensive positions, but all of these spots back around this point are just going to have so many teams converging around this location. The walls just make it to where there's not a lot of different places to go, and everybody's going to have to fight it out. New Brainers are on the backside of this one, still trying to make their way back over towards the zone. Going to go ahead and throw out a zipline, try to make their way up, but not going to get a lot of it. Just one member up. Gobble runs back out, trying to get a little bit more. Tries to get this one, at least going to go ahead and get the flush onto it, but at what cost? Still just trying to survive, trying to find some type of sneaky angle, tries to make it back towards the portal, does manage to get back over there.
Love the fact that he had the time to just kind of crouch a couple times in front and be like, yeah, I don't know what to do either, man. Like, good luck. And then he just kind of pieces out. So able to get the round on the backside. Yeah, pretty much. It was just like a common agreement of like, okay, man, like, good luck, firm handshakes, and backs out. So TSM still alive here on the top side, able to pick up a couple more after that initial fight and push from Imperial Howl and the rest of the guys, but they do spot one up top. Going to end up using that portal on the outside. Need to be careful, though, as there's a team coming in through double doors. Just checking their angles. Energy over the top. A team that's been playing super well today. Extremely consistent towards the top. And #1 overall on week 4. But that bubble providing the cover that is absolutely crucial. Going to move in and see if they can get some shields and actually being rewarded for it is Nafin.
Got to be a little bit careful. iShiny does manage to take down reps back behind this. Imperial Howl, the last one up, pretty close towards the center of the present safe zone, but going to have to make his way back over towards the east. Going to have to be very cautious with it. A big firefight happening back over towards the north. We were kind of telling you about how that was going to break down. So now down to just 6 teams, 14 alive. Quick jumps around. You can see realizing in a very bad spot. Shiny, the last one up for his team as well. Pretty close to the same location. Going to have to make his way back over towards the east. Trying to see if he can spot out anybody, but it's going to be NRG. We talked about these guys like to hunt, and they're starting to spot out all of these stragglers and inflicting damage on every single one they can. If they can take out a couple of these solos that are hiding out there, it's going to give them so much more territory to work with.
Yeah, need to be careful. Nafin on the back end side. Energy poised to take yet another one. TSM and Shiny were both in a position where they were solos, but Nafin just not missing shots with that flat line, able to crack the shields on one before they get away. Well, it does take some damage from a different angle. Need to be careful, but that is information they're able to play with. Team over here to the side. Just trying to get whatever they can to get ready for this late game. The next couple of seconds here. 10 seconds for the 5th circle. As Sentinels, a lot of open ground to cover before they move in.
You can see they did not want to do this. There's not a lot of good safe positions that they can work with. NRG still continuing to go after anything that moves right now. They spot out a big fight that's going off towards the side of it. Gibraltar Shield's going to go down. Might buy a little bit more space, but you can see they're doing a good job of controlling the territory in the next safe zone. They're trying to stall out, force everybody else to fight. Do the work for them, so that way every single time a fight breaks down, they can just move into a capital point. On the other side of it, it's going to be Sentinel starting to get more high ground control, looking back down on all of these fights, trying to third party, but have to be very careful. Meanwhile, in the thick of it, it's going to be NRG. Runs up, goes ahead and gets down, sniped down. Has to be careful. As you can see, it is just death and hellfire up in front of him.
Yeah, Nafin's been absolutely crutch here on the last 5 squads. The way that they played that is that early aggression in those 2 Arc Stars immediately made that team that had no cover have to back out and throw down the Gibraltar and bubble. So those cooldowns are now done as Rogue on the back end here getting absolutely dismantled by Sentinels. Energy still with the cover on the backside and has middle of circle, able to cover the top side. So in a really good position here and poised to look to take it as multiple teams, just too many options for Rocker. Doesn't know who to put down as he puts damage on a little bit of everything, spreading it across. So it's going to be Sentinels, Energy, another team on the back end side here on the east. And there's still one hiding somewhere. So not sure if McCarthy was able to stay alive for Shiny or if he is gone as well. But 3 of 3, the team underneath, and fully healthy. So trying to push up and use the cost of gas to their advantage.
This is such a complex section of the map to have the final circles go to. You can see there's a lot of verticality that's coming into play. There's a lot of these little, like, I guess, terrain points that kind of pop out that you can hide behind. You got to find these different angles to work with, but Sentinels have managed to kind of collapse back down. They've got themselves a safe point for now, but they have to be very cautious as they don't have a lot of good options to move forward. Around the side of it, it's going to be 303 continuing to harass, just dropping down, taking a couple of shots, trying to see if they can connect into with anything. Looks like we're kind of having an own independent fight that's happening off towards the side of this. NRG is going to have to be a little bit careful as they are going to have to move up and forward, but they have the wall to work with. Moving forward, they've got control over the zone, and a lot of these teams are going to be having to come towards them. They know where at least 2 are if they've been hearing a firefight happening in front.
The only downfall pushing up that closest, they are giving up a little bit of the high ground, so might still want to keep someone up back there just for the capabilities, but it looks like Sentinels, they realize that they're trapped down there, so 2 players going down, they're going to just give all of their meds to 1 player who's just going to try to heal it out for placement. Got 303 here. Energy on the gatekeep. Just seeing if they can spread out and find somebody on the backside. They end up jumping over the top. Nafin able to put some damage down. Another one using that phase in that portal. Bunch of damage here from Rocker, who's been putting so much damage down with that Prowler with the attachment. full auto getting returned here on Frex. Needs to back off. 303 on the outside, able to cover a different angle. Shots going down. Energy getting dropped down as well. The Mastiff being absolutely crucial. Able to do some damage, but needs to reload, so gonna have to back off. Only gets one slug back in the chamber, and it does not matter. 303 with the angle, able to approach this collectively and get the victory.
303 heard me say apparently that we haven't had a chance to watch them a whole bunch, walking away with a round victory, and that was such a messy fight on so many levels for so many of these teams. But 303 was always controlled. You saw how they were stepping around, inflicting damage on the Sentinels, not letting them make their way back over to where Sentinels now had to just take a ton of zone damage. Whenever we saw the other teams repositioning around, they made sure to always have vision and move into capital points to where they can take damage back over and retreat back away. It was a very hit and run based skirmish, and it constantly went in the favor of 303.
Yeah, it kind of makes me curious on what happened to TSM there. You know, we took a blink, and then all of a sudden between them and Shiny, both teams are left with one player, and it's like, okay, what happened here? And I think a lot of it was due to 303 possibly third partying. As we take a look at the highlights here in our fourth match of the day, our first on Kings Canyon, a lot of fight for high ground between Aim Assist, Gentrifying, and the guys obviously getting picked up as they rotated up. New Brainer was in a fight. A lot of these middle of the pack teams